All right, fellas, here we're back on our Pokemon TCG Pocket video. All right, time for some legal accusations. We gotta love those, don't we? The Ho-Oh-EX Immersive. I mean, this has been floating around everywhere. It is honestly fucking insane that this has even happened. I really want to know why they thought this was a good idea. Like, legitimately, please tell me. Please tell me what made you think this was a good idea. So fucking stupid to even have tried to do, man. I just can't really believe that one. Here's the original artwork for that an artist made. I mean, we see it, it looks cool. We got this Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, this Ho-Oh. And we got the illustration for Ho-Oh. I can't really zoom in better to this picture, but like, you see it. The posing, look at it. Look at how it's drawn. Is the exact same. Overlaid on top of each other, they are literally the same, and they are traced. Our card is pretty much traced. So, not only do we got a lack of creativity here, at least on the pose for Ho-Oh, but we got ourselves literally just straight up traced artwork. Like, I'm sure that a lot of art makers look at reference pieces, like other fan arts to get ideas. But I'm pretty sure 99.5% of those artists are not directly tracing whatever the hell they find. It is so absolutely insane that they even tried to do this. This is also a very well-known and competent artist as well. Like, they made this amazing Zoroark card. I have this card, and I love it. I have this Ninetales card. I remember buying it. I vividly remember buying it, and I love it. I don't have this Greninja, but it's a promo from Shroud of Fable. And these are good artworks. So why are we tracing... why are we tracing someone else's artwork, man? Oh my gosh. It's so bad. And the original artist said, "I don't want to steer any narrative or public opinion. This matter will stay. This matter is still inconclusive. In fact, I'm just puzzled. I mean, very, very valid to feel, right? Pokemon TCG art is commissioned by creatures. Artist drafts are reviewed by creatures to make sure the Pokemon models are on point. So it would seem that, yeah, a lot of these artists are like outsourced. Of course, they don't officially like work for creatures. At least some of them probably don't officially work for creatures, but they are like commissioned and stuff. And then like made in, well, commissioned by creatures. Yeah. I mean, I would imagine some artworks, not all, but some artworks are definitely, made by like random people, basically, like actual fan artists, right? You can see a lot of people on Twitter actually say, "Hey, my art was featured in whatever card set or like whatever pack," right? And then we've got ourselves an official announcement. What is even more crazy is that they got caught so fast that, like, it's been pretty much 24 hours, not even pretty much since the set released. Yesterday, 9:55 a.m., right? Like, and they have posted an update. Thank you for your continued support of the Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket. We want to share important information regarding the upcoming expansion. It has come to our attention there was a production issue. Okay. Regarding illustration of Ho-Oh featured in the immersive artwork for the Ho-Oh EX 3-star and Lugia EX 3-star. After internal review, we discovered that the card production team provided incorrect reference materials as official documents to the illustrator. Illustrator commissioned to create these cards. Both cards have been replaced with temporary placeholder that the team is actively working to replace with the new artwork as it's ready. Conducting a broader investigation to ensure no similar issues exist elsewhere in the game. As for players who have been looking forward to the expansion and to the talented illustrators who bring the Pokemon world of Pokemon to life or whatever, we deeply apologize for any inconvenience. We take this matter very seriously and committed to strengthening our quality control process and to prevent this from happening again. Thank you for understanding and continued support of Trading Card Game Pocket. Right. So, people have been I mean, I've watched this video by Pokeannie. I would highly recommend anyone curious in this whole thing to like watch this video. They do a lot better of explaining this than I do. But basically, people were pointing out this, and it basically says, to summarize all of what this little legal statement, quote unquote legal statement says, this basically just says, if you make fan art, we can use it however we want without crediting you, doing whatever we want to it, and we do not owe you anything. And you give up all of your rights to be able to sue us for it. And the TLDR of that is that is not legally binding. You can say what you want about this being legal information, but this isn't actually legally binding because there's a layer to things. This is United States law. I'm not sure how this applies given that this is, I believe, a Japanese artist, so I do not know if it's the same in Japan. I mean, given that a lot of Japanese laws and like regulations partially were created by the United States, but also like not like in recent history, and this is probably more of a recent law or like something more recent anyway. But the law with basic copyright in the United States, without pulling it up again, Brian from Pokemon here, he pulled it up and like does a better explanation. So again, watch this video right here. I mean, there's the URL. You can go to his channel right here. Is that basically the law of copyright is that you own the art piece that you make as it is finished, even if you do not. If you apply for copyright for it, it helps in like laws and legal battles, but you do officially own whatever piece of artwork you made at like the moment you make it. You do not own the artwork if you like, you know, let's say you trace an official illustration or something. Like you trace this artist's artworks, you try and put it out yourself, like you're going to get probably sued by Pokemon Company because it's their property, you know, whatever, right? Or just as an example. But if you take the Pokemon Ho-Oh and you make, and like Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, Togekiss, Karma, all those, right? Like, and you make artwork like this that is completely different of official artworks, you own this work. Now you cannot officially sell it because it is based off of, you know, a private IP. People do it anyway because fuck the law, right? But people do it anyway. But like you would own this piece of work. So the fact that Pokemon tries to say we own your shit is not legally binding because it does not. The best word as he's used was supersede. It does not supersede the actual law, at least in the United States. So at the very least, if you are United States, if you make artwork and you are based in the United States, whatever art pieces you make are protected by copyright. You can keep your rights to those art pieces, and Pokemon does not have the right to like take them without compensation or whatever it may be, which is why they've very rarely done anything like this to begin with, because I'm pretty sure they know this is not completely legally binding. So, I mean, that's basically the summary of that. I mean, I'm not trying to be a lawyer or anything. Watch this video. He's not a lawyer either, but he summarizes it with better evidence than I do. And that's the TLDR of the legal information on that. They basically cannot do this, which is why they were so fast to get it out. I don't know how this made it past all the checks, but sure, I guess. I can't believe they even tried this. I don't know how. Why? Why did you do this? You're a talented artist, unless these are all ended up being traced, but I think people that would have came out a lot quicker, right? It's just, it's insane. It's the coincidence they're the same pose. Brother. Okay, sure. Yeah, coincidence they're the same pose. No, it was very clearly traced and then shaded like differently. Like, yeah, it's shaded differently. Whoopee, the pose is the exact same. Like there's layers to that. That's insane. I don't know. Either way, the new artworks are coming. The reason Lugia is also in the like to be released status or whatever it's called is because that Lugia has the Ho-Oh artwork in like its background. I'm pretty sure there's nothing been legally said about the Lugia artwork, which I will go ahead and show the Lugia artwork here. Let's just type that up here. Okay, don't type then. Right here. I'm pretty sure nothing has been said about this card being like traced or anything. I'm pretty sure it's fine. But if you play its immersive animation, it does actually have Ho-Oh in the background. Is there a video of it? Full art. This is the full artwork of it, which is cool. No, it doesn't seem like I can find a video for it. Oh well, it's no big deal. Doesn't really matter. But yeah, point being, they're going to be replacing the artwork. I hope this is not a trend, and it's very sad to see such a beloved artist do something like this. I do not know what the backlash is going to be on that. I ain't saying harass anyone, because you shouldn't. That's stupid. Don't be a fucking white knight, all right? No, like, yeah, speak out, but it's already been spoken out about. You don't need to go any further with it, right? But it's just, wow, that's pretty crazy. I don't know. I don't really have much else to add on that. Basically, you know, if you're an artist, don't be too scared, but I would probably be scared of having to ever be in the situation, because even if you are like legally protected by the law, you know, you're basically talking to Big Daddy Pokemon, right? Like that can be terrifying. Understandable. Oh well, whatever. I mean, well, we're thankfully we're getting some action taken to actually like protect this this person's piece of work. I think it would have been better, frankly, if they would have just, you know, asked, and I think it would have been really cool. Okay, look, imagine a realm. Why am I saying realm? What the are we in the fucking Game of Thrones? Imagine a world where they asked to use this this artist's piece of work, and then made it into this illustration rare. You could see like the first ever like officially made card, you know, by the same person. You know, maybe they still, you know, they still put in a lot of design probably into like the effects and stuff, right? But then you also have this artist featured for actually making the design for Ho-Oh. You know, that would have been cool. Like, would have officially asked, pay to get the artwork piece used or the permission or whatever, and you guys could work in collaboration, and it would have been fun. And we wouldn't have had to change anything. But no, just had to yoink mine. Sure, it's not like I don't want to say it's malicious, but like, if anything, at least it's just blatantly lazy. You're just taking someone else's posing and then putting your own shading on it, which is like, that's a good part of the artwork, but still, it's just so clear. It's just so clearly taken, which is just unfortunate. Oh well, we'll just have to see what they do about it, see how this goes in the future, and hope that this is not a very common occurrence. That's all I really got to say there. So I'll see you later, and I hope you all enjoyed. Peace.